Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
What is Cloud doing?
Beats me.
And now, the conclusion.
Locations are like really well done. I mean, even though Tifa's bar is not the same bar that you see in the remake of Final Fantasy VII so far, it still looks like close to it. I'm assuming she just remakes it in a similar way. Midgar looks like Midgar, kind of now, in the newest installment. And the church, that was cool, fighting Reno in that in the remake. Like, and then watching Advent Children right after that, because, I mean, obviously it's not a one-for-one thing, but they look really close and well done. It's almost like the remake is kind of like playing Advent Children. And in some ways, Advent Children looks better. They kind of go back and forth on what looks better in each. It's hard to explain. It does like a good job kind of bringing everyone together, because they're all trying to like reach Cloud. They have a bunch of voicemails on his phone, and they kind of reveal this just before they all show up and help with the Baha Men. I'm gonna stop calling it that. Aerith and Zack get referenced kind of in the movie through a couple points in ways that work. Aerith talks to Cloud about moving on when he's trying to rescue the children. He helps him kill the Bahamut. You should just fucking call him the Baha Men. I don't know how to pronounce it. Zack actually comes in and encourages Cloud when Sephiroth has the upper hand at one point, and that pushes Cloud to basically kill Sephiroth. Aerith is the one that sort of cures Geostigma overall. So yeah, like overall it kind of carries on nicely from Final Fantasy VII. It's a good continuation. I can talk. Everybody has like some cool outfit changes, reflecting the fact that it's a slightly different time. I mean, Cloud looks like kind of emo because it's all black now, and he's got a sleeve, which he rips off. And he's got like a cool holster near his butt for his giant sword. And the game, whatever this was, I definitely watched it. The movie has a nice character arc for Cloud because it's about him like moving on, and there's like a definite turning point where he learns to, and that's with Vincent. And he decides to actually live with people and not distance himself for 2 years. But now he would have to. Way to reference that again. Did I reference coronavirus? No. Fuck, well now I did. Now for the bad. I guess it would be the bad. It's got like a confusing ass story in the way that everything Nomura does. Sort of. Doesn't compare to Kingdom Hearts 3 in the least. That's hard to compare to. I should get to that someday. Like 3 people come out of nowhere and kind of look like Sephiroth, and you know they're linked to him. But it's not entirely clear. I guess the remnants of him? Other experiments? Something? Did they come out of the live stream? And what's stopping more of them from coming in? Like, what? I guess maybe Genova's head was finally destroyed when Sephiroth gets killed again? But what if they find some other part of Genova? Like, just inject themselves with DNA, like another Kadaj shows up. What if a Kadaj remnant shows up and becomes Kadaj, who then goes on to digivolve into Sephiroth? I'm kind of confused by what these 3 remnants of Sephiroth people actually were. They have, like, negative lifestream power too. Kadaj does anyway. And they can summon like demon monster jerks. How do they fucking do that? I don't understand. And like Geostigma is a little confusing because at first they're saying that the planet is mad about the war that had happened. You know, like Sephiroth and Shinra fucking everything up. Basically just humans being jerks to the planet, so the planet got them back. But then it's Genova's influence / Sephiroth's influence, because Sephiroth was in the live stream being a Bingus the whole time. Maybe that's how the remnants of Sephiroth showed up. Maybe not really knowing what I'm talking about is making it worse, but it wasn't made very clear in the movie, and I'd have a decent basis to work with. I haven't beaten any of the games, but I've like seen a lot of it and heard a lot about them. I don't even fucking know. What are these silver-haired people? Why do they just do what they want? And then when Kadaj captures the children, well, all 3 of them were doing it. Like, It's never really clear why. They kind of act like a human barrier to sort of allow the three to get the drop on Sephiroth when he's chasing them down to the Forgotten City, but I guess they did that. And they formed a human barrier around the Shinra monument that the Bahamut destroyed. But I mean, all they really did there was basically get blown up. I think a lot of them actually died in that attack. But you kind of see them all at the end, because they get healed. They all get healed at the bath that Aerith made in her flower bed. Most of them. You also see Reno and Rude there. Oh no, not there. You see it when it's raining and everybody's getting healed. Even the president of Shinra. But like, I don't understand, because it doesn't... I don't think Kadaj was actually trying to unite everybody that had Genova lineage. I think he was just being an asshole. At least Roxas didn't show up and get his own body. That's quite a reference I just made. I mean, and then there's like the elephant in the movie. There wasn't one. That's my problem. No, like, the big thing is Sephiroth's being used again. Like, hey, he's not actually fully dead. Even though Cloud kind of went to great lengths to kill him in the original. I seem to remember them killing him in his final big meaty form, and then Cloud killing him at kind of a metaphysical level, and sort of a one-on-one thing. That wasn't enough! Sephiroth went into the live stream or something, and then turned into 3 teenagers? Or whatever those people were? And became himself again with the help of Genova. I mean, like I said, it could happen again. What if they just cloned Sephiroth somehow and he comes back from the live stream and infects the clone and it's him. It's fully him again. That's kind of what this was, I think. And I guess Sephiroth's plot overall was to take over the planet using the negative life stream that was kind of causing geostigma. And then he wanted to ride the universe with this planet. And I guess basically do what Genova did and use the planet as a comet to hit another planet. Really ambitious. But I mean, that's not really a knock against the movie. I was just knocking the plan. But, like, what the fuck? What even happened? Where did those 3 come from? Oh yeah, and like ultimately at the end, Cloud just decides the fight is over after he has a vision of Zack saying like, hey, you already beat this asshole once, just fucking kill him again. You might as well be able to do that, you're gonna have to do it again, I bet. But Cloud's just like, okay, Omni Slash. In my memories, it was cooler, because when I saw it in 2005 and then went a long time without seeing it, I mean, that's how I thought they were clashing swords, and then Cloud, who's like Buster Sword, was made up of a bunch of other swords, because he kept carrying a bunch of swords on this motorcycle, and they would combine, and it was cool. So that Buster Sword, made up of other swords, I thought I remembered it breaking apart while they were clashing swords, thereby like stunning Sephiroth, allowing him to get the upper hand and do the Omni Slash. But no, they were actually separated, and Cloud's just like, hey, Sephiroth. Sephiroth's like, what? Like, go back to my memories, fucktard. And then he does the Omni Slash. They weren't... Nothing stunned Sephiroth. Cloud just does it. He just jumps into the air and fucking just... The sword splits. He's like zipping around grabbing each one. I think they turn gold and he's slashing Sephiroth, and Sephiroth just dies. And then Sephiroth says he'll never be a memory, and he folds his wing around himself and becomes a memory.
I will never be a memory.
For now. Oh, because, yeah, Kadaj was alive again after that. But he died and returned to the live stream. And then for some reason, the other 2 Kadaj Sephiroth dudes had a bunch of the materia that they stole from Cloud. And it was, like, in their arms. And they blasted Cloud. Like, well, first, one of the dudes shot Cloud while he's, like, looking up, basking in everybody being healed by Aerith's, like, Geostigma Cure Rain. He gets shot, and then they try to blow him up. And I guess they die. But then Aerith and Zack are like, no. Wake up. Be alive. And he's in the healing pool in the church. So yeah, they all end up fading away. Oh yeah, and the Bahamut were summoned using the materia. I said I was going to get back to that. And I kind of just did with the whole explosion thing from the other 2 jerks. But yeah, the Bahamut was summoned by Kadaj, because they shove materia in their arms and use it. interesting way to do that. So that was just disjointed and 25 minutes of rambling. This is probably getting split up. Because nobody wants to watch. I don't even want to edit. It was a good movie, though. I liked it. I really did. Like, even though the plot overall was kind of weird, it was still coherent enough. And the fighting was great. And it didn't really drag on. It was just, like, action-packed and paced really well from one fight to the next. It was just good. It was cool seeing Sephiroth again. And it was kind of cool seeing him just, like, possess somebody who was being influenced to bring him back anyway. I thought, without really knowing Final Fantasy VII fully, I thought it carried on pretty well. Kinda almost wish there'd be another one, but maybe not with Sephiroth and Genova again? But I mean, the whole point of each, I guess, installment, because they're not really one game each all the time. The whole point is for them to be their own contained story and not carry on with, like, Monster of the Week. I guess that's kind of why Sephiroth's back. But whatever, I liked it. It was a good movie. I recommend it. It's really interesting, too, to see it while playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's fun to compare the graphics. Sometimes the character models, I don't know, I feel like they look better in the remake. Or maybe animated better in the movie, but that's because it's a fucking movie. It's not real-time rendering of their movements. And there's not a bunch of crusty JPEGs working as the backdrop. That's... I'm dying from talking shit. I was gonna say... I wasn't talking about the original, I was talking about the remake with the crust. Alright. What the fuck? Where am I?